This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Jason Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Kurt Underhill from the Fishing Crew.
What is up, buddy? That's a good hook set.
Okay, so you know what? Let's just be honest with everybody. We both came screaming in here on one wheel tonight.
Yeah,
right?
I knew it was Wednesday, but I forgot it was Wednesday. Can you hear me?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got you.
I'm trying to get mics hooked up. So I knew it was Wednesday, but I forgot it was Wednesday. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. I thought about it, but I knew you were busy. And I've had quite a few things going on kind of in the background and stuff. So I haven't been thinking about anything other than the other things I've been thinking about because I was thinking about the things I was thinking about, right? I mean, you understand that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, yes. And now I was just talking about how StreamYard, Tom Seberg, talking about how StreamYard or all these computer programs and things like Figma changed the way I used it just from last week. Well, now if you look down, do you see the opening and you see all that little LED VU bar thingy down and whatever? I'm like, okay, now that looks totally different. What did they do there? And it just kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, could we just have one thing stay the same? Everybody's always got to make these wonderful adjustments to their programs. You know, like, okay, look it over. You know how we've got the vertical picture and we've got the horizontal picture of pictures, right? Like a picture like this, right? So it shows both. All we need to do is see the picture. We already know that it's either going to be vertical or horizontal, right? So why would you shrink it? So now I've got to get my readers to see what picture I'm actually going to click on. And it's just got really weird.
I will say the one thing I learned over the last couple of days and what we're going to talk about tonight is adaptive, right? And Caesar and Ashley are going to tell you, I've talked to both of them a little bit, and I'm pretty pumped to have these guys on because this event we had over the last couple of days, I don't want to drag them out too long. You know, I was in charge of putting boat captains in. If you haven't checked it out, check it out on the Fishing Crew YouTube and Facebook page or the Battle Branch Boys stuff. And we got the pleasure to take 21 disabled, you know, from everything from cognitive disabilities to, you know, fully wheelchair, you know, hands don't work, every level of disabilities fishing. And I was tasked with bringing in the boat captains and putting the tournament on, which is great. Good at that, right? We do that a lot. But
right.
Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of people that I don't know who they are. I've got a pretty good idea who my guides are, a personality-wise, stuff like that. But now you're trying to mesh people together that you don't know and haven't met before, right?
Because you want a good pairing, right?
Yeah, and I'm doing the pairings for the pros.
And you want them to be all the chemistry good and perfect.
Exactly. You want an enjoyable event, and you know, and everybody's got a little bit of different personality. Everybody's got you know, you got all these different things going on. And it was amazing how well randomly pairing people together. Now I got dogs barking. Randomly pairing people together, everything was in the perfect spot. Like literally when I was calling up people's names, when I went, hey, Caesar, hey, Ashley, come up meet your guest. And I go, hey, Cora, you're paired with Caesar and Ashley. And it was like they walked up and I was watching them walk up and I'm like, every single 21 people were just like instantly meshed. I'm like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
Right.
So, welcome to the show. I figured that would be the perfect time to bring you in.
That was pretty slick, Kurt.
Yeah, that was very slick.
But what an amazing event. Long nights, early mornings, but we do that a lot for fishing tournaments. This one was something more, you know, and the people that got behind it, the Special Olympics, like we had a meeting, Special Olympics, like, tell me what I don't know. Like, what am I going to, you know, like, what am I going to need for, you know, we had guys that had reels that strapped to their arms and power reels. And I mean, it was such an amazing thing. So thank you guys both. I called Caesar earlier today and thanked him. And I got Todd calling me right now from Special Olympics about something probably. everybody just kind of worked out. So I want to hear, Ashley, why don't you start and tell your side of the event? And Caesar called me, asked me to be, and he goes, if Ashley can be here, do you mind if she comes? And I'm like, absolutely. So we'll start with you. And what were you thinking going into this thing? And what was it like for you?
I was super pumped because 20 years ago, I worked in early childhood special education. So this was to be able to participate in something like this that's always been super near and dear to my heart, was just unbelievable. And then for us to be able to be paired with the family that we were, it was like we met them and it was like we had known them for years. And by the end of the night, their 3-year-old son was calling Caesar grandpa. So, I mean, we just had the most amazing time. And I think Caesar will probably say it at some point, but we didn't ever think we'd have 6 people in the boat, let alone a wheelchair. But, you know, it all went great. And sweet Cora she's 7 years old. She has cerebral palsy. She's non-mobile, non-verbal, and has a feeding tube. So we got to experience all the wonderful things that take place in her life on our boat.
And it was such an amazing thing. Like, you know, you guys came to me like, hey, and I asked Caesar about this today because I got a feeling this was Ashley's doing. Like, do you mind if we take everybody? And I'm like, I don't care. Like, it went from you taking one of the guardians and Cora to all of a sudden you're like, their whole family's going. And I'm like, Ashley got her claws into this thing. And she's like, there's no way we're leaving them back on shore.
Well, here, let me. I think some of these pictures are small. Well, this is a perfect representation of having a full boat, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, that's. I guess I'm going to pop up a picture that changed things for me. This photo, actually, the video,
right?
Yeah. And Kurt, help me with his name because when
Rhett.
Okay, Rhett. So when Rhett weighed in, he was the first one to weigh in. So he was leading the tournament, right, to begin with. And the pure joy in his voice, in his expressions, with his hand gestures, everything, just changed the way I look at a lot of things. It's like there was something got me, you know, standing up the back of my neck. And as I continue to watch, I think I learned more about taking life for granted and loving the little things, and the fact that if you give some time, you can help a lot of other people enjoy the little things that they can't always enjoy, like going fishing. Kurt was telling me about that, you know, that a father and a son enjoyed a normal fishing trip that they couldn't normally do. So truly amazing.
Which you don't realize is these kids give back more than they ever get in life in just one meeting, you know?
Yeah, and I want to talk about that Rhett thing a little bit, and then we'll get to Caesar. Rhett, him and Dinger came in first. Justin Sieverding was his boat captain, and Rhett wanted to go fast in the morning, and you can follow him along on Life of Rhett and see a bunch of videos. It's awesome, but he wanted to go fast, but then they got to about 20, and that was too fast, and the boat was barely on plane, so they had to calm it down. They got him, and his parents explained to Dinger that he has trouble balancing, right? Like, so balancing is going to be an issue. So they made sure they were in a calm area and they did all the stuff. But Rhett, like every fish he caught, you thought you caught a world record. Rhett he always wants to be called to the stage first. And he's like, they're going to call my name Rhett. They're going to call Rhett. They're going to call Rhett. And the guys from the Battle Branch boys said, if you don't call Rhett first, he's going to be bouncing up and down the back yelling, call Rhett. Call Rhett. And so they were the first team in. They had 2 walleyes in their cooler, and you'd have thought he had the world record of every shark ever caught, everything, and it was 2 15-inch walleyes, and he didn't care. And Dinger, I talked to him today, and he goes, you know, the thing about Rhett, what I learned from him is one guy walked up with 1 15-inch walleye, and Rhett saw him coming through the crowd, and he's like, they've got a big one. And Rhett started the whole crowd cheering for this guy with 1 fish. Yeah. You know, 1 15-inch fish, and just to watch that. So, you know, Monday night we got together, we met the pros, we had dinner, and that's where we met our people. And what was that like for you, Caesar? And
well, so for me, one criteria I had when I got invited to this, when Justin suggested I give you a call and see if there was a spot, I'm like, well, I've got to do this, but I definitely need my right hand icebreaker, Ashley, in the middle of this, just because I get overwhelmed with that. But I was determined to do it with or without her, and thank goodness she elected to participate, and she added a lot of value. But meeting everybody that night was a real eye opener. And when I saw the reality, because like you said, Kurt, I had no idea what I was getting into, and I saw the pairings, and we were one of the last couple people to. Cora was running late, and so we were one of the last couple of people to get paired up. And when I met the family, it was clear to me that it wasn't just Cora and one of her parents. It needed to be the whole group. And we went for it. And thank gosh we did, because it added so much value to see that whole family dynamic. But it was an amazing experience. I learned a tremendous amount about teamwork and the amount of sacrifice that not only the disabled person gives through life, because they're so vulnerable. And that was one thing Cora did a great job, was just, letting life be. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of choice, but she was stimulated by the wind and the air and the bumps and the smells and the experience. And she was the most pliable, patient, tolerant person on the boat. And then, to watch her parents work as a team and just, pass the ball off to one another as we went and experienced wind and waves and all the things that you do on a fishing trip. It was just so heartening. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So, I think you said it best on the stage or you told me, I thought we'd have to adapt around these people, and these people literally adapted to their surroundings. And it was like they were just done this 1,000 times.
It really was. And I was, in the evening that we first met, I said, are there any special things I need to be aware of? Or, I'm trying to, I'm a fisherman and a farmer, and that's all precision work. And I'm trying to figure out what precision item we need to have or scenario we need to cover. And they're like, nope, we'll be good. And we got there, and it's like, all right, how do we load this thing? There's 20 boats wanting to get on the water. And so we did it off the beach instead of the dock, just to not tie everybody up. And it was like we'd worked together, taking Cora fishing for 10 years. It just happened. But it wasn't because of me. It was because of how efficient and effective her parents and how patient and tolerant Cora is with everything that had to go on.
So to try to better understand this for me not being there and those that are watching that wouldn't have been there, I'm feeling like Cora's in the boat, the wind is blowing in her face, and she's tearing up. Okay, so she's crying, right? And you guys might think, oh no, what's wrong? You've had it with 40-mile-an-hour winds beating you in the face. So you're thinking to yourself, if the wind could just stop. And yet Cora's parents say she's not crying because she's upset. She's crying because she feels the wind on her face for the first time and loves it.
Yeah, for sure.
That feeling of what we might find hatred in the wind because it won't stop, but she gets it blowing in her face very, very rarely and finds joy in it.
Things we consider problems are not problems.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Cora really set the example for, setting the standard for how being vulnerable and dealing with various factors or conditions are not a problem. She just put a big smile on her face, and she knew she had a team around her, and she just indulged in every single moment of it that she could. And it was so inspiring.
Like, one of the things, her brother wanted to go fast, and Cora really loved going fast and feeling the bumps and the motion. But I kept getting just hammered with spray from the waves, and I'd be like, because I was sitting backwards, and it would I wasn't ready for it. And both Cora and her little brother, sorry, now I have dogs, thought it was the most hysterical thing on the face of the earth. And to hear that little girl actually giggle was about all you could do to not just break out bawling with your own happiness. It was just so much fun.
Well, and it was just, like everything. It was a hot, windy day, right? We didn't have the ideal situation. I would have loved nothing more than a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind, put in at Spring Creek, make your runs, do a boat launch like we talked about, do everything we were going to do and make it the special moment. And it was an audible the night before. I finally told the guides, pick 2 spots to take off from and go where you want to go and do your thing. And everybody did. And I was talking to so many people that were like, everybody, like Keith Bazur put it best. He goes, we want to kill each other the morning of the Governor's Cup.
Right.
But there wasn't one person. I mean, I had a text group with the up below and down below anglers, and it was just nonstop text back and forth of who's going where, what they're doing, what depth, what color. I mean, pictures are getting sent of crankbaits, and I'm like, and I don't remember who it was. I think it was Nate or somebody looked at me and said, this would never happen in a tournament. This is insane.
Right.
Like, people just made probably new friends because of this special event.
Well, and everybody was so dedicated to getting, they didn't care about what happened. They just wanted every single pro or guide or whatever, boat captain, wanted to make sure that every single one of those kids got a fish.
And everyone caught a fish, and everyone caught quite a few fish. Some just were down below and got a ton of 14 and 7/8. But even then, like, I had one of the guides text me before weigh-ins, and he's like, hey, man, I know it's probably not a big deal to the kids, but don't you think maybe the up top's got a better advantage than the down below people? You might want to think about doing something. And I'm like, I could pull the weigh bag and zero it, the basket and zero it, so it gives them 3 extra pounds for down below. And in the moment, I'm like, what does it matter? And it didn't matter. Like, the things that mattered to us that we thought would matter were such the careless thing of the day that it didn't even matter. Like, I just couldn't believe it.
So, okay. So we spend a lot of time trying to make the moment perfect when to them, it was the moment that was perfect.
Yeah. So Tom Seberg put a comment here. He was actually guiding down below, and I talked to him a little bit, and he was even telling us to send my guides over here. Says every fish that was pulled into the boat I seen was hoop, holler, high fives made, everybody smiling that could see us.
Awesome.
And that's what it was. I mean, it was like Logan said, we got to celebrate these people. Like, he told me celebrate them at weigh-ins, but it was celebrating them from the moment they were paired up to the moment they were done at night. I mean, and there was so many different, everybody, like I said, Cora doesn't, she's nonverbal, but she expressed herself and I could see it. Right?
More than words can say, Kurt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and we had Casey and Rhett and Brittany that were very animated people. Mm-hmm. But Cora was doing the same thing if you just paid attention. Yeah. And it was such a, like, the stories, you guys were just one of 21 boats out there that got a story, and the stuff that happened. We had down below a guy, one of our guides, we come by him and he's like, hey, I had a big fish on and it ripped it out of my rod out of my hand and it's gone. There's a big fish. And I'm like, okay, and it's right in here. So he's like, I've told every other boat that my rod's in here. And how many times have we lost something out of the boat? We drop an exact waypoint and we never find the thing, right? Literally, we go down, drop off a camera guy in a guy's boat, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to pull this. And he dropped a rod in here. We're driving away, and I hear, Kurt, we turn around, go back. We got a fish. Oh, we got the rod with the 17-inch walleye on it.
You got it away.
So, I mean, you can't make, like, how many times you drop something on the boat and you're like, it's right here. I'm going to put a jig wrap down. I'm going to do whatever and get it, and you never catch it. I've literally lost and put a waypoint, and when the water went down, I went up on the shore where I thought it was, never find it. And they caught a rod So we weighed the rod for their big other because it was another. It was just so much fun. Like all the guides, Caesar went down. Like there wasn't a question. Like I didn't even have to ask for things to be done. It was like, hey, what do we do with the fish? Well, they're going to clean them. All right, I'm going. Like everybody was just working together. And Caesar, you told me a little bit about the cleaning station. Tell me when you guys were all just the guides, probably the first time you got decompressed all day.
Yeah. So the cleaning of the fish deal there was a lot of fish, by the way. I don't know how many pounds there were, but it was an impressive amount. So there was 3 of us that went, and we had the fish and the permit, and we kind of looked at these coolers like, man, I hope there's more than 3 of us going to be here. We're going to be here a long time. And pretty soon, I think there was more like 8 when we were said and done, and everybody just went to cutting fish. But the conversation went to everybody's experience that day. And it was like unsolicited, unplanned addition to the day, because I got 7 other people telling me about, all the amazing things that happened on their boat and in their experience for the day. And at the end, we all found ourselves standing around. We'd clean the coolers up, ice the fillets. And all of a sudden we started having a conversation that continued on just because nobody wanted to quit sharing the day's experience. Finally, I said, guys, we got to go eat some fish. and we all went back. But the whole cleaning station experience was just an extension of everybody being able to share the joy that they had in that day with some detail. And it was a privilege to be a part of that as well.
Impressive. Yeah. And like I said, we could have a 4-day podcast hearing all the stories if we brought everybody in. And I'm just, every time I think there's another one, there was a young gentleman, Chris, and I guess his boat captain said he was pretty quiet all day, and he finally kind of opened up when they got out fishing and started having a good time. And we tried to talk to him the night before, and he didn't really want to talk, and he was in his own, and you just kind of give him their space. And he comes up to me right before we're getting ready to do awards in the fish fry, and he's like, I'm going to go outside my comfort zone. I'm like, what's that, bud? And he's like, I'm going to try fish.
Oh, yeah.
I've never tried fish. And I guess he came up in the van from Sioux Falls, Special Olympics van, and he was dead set. No, absolutely will not try this fish. It's not going to happen. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm not trying the fish. He went up and tried a fish, and I think he had 3 bowls full of fish. Like he couldn't eat it fast enough. Like Brad was up there cooking.
How about Brad's team and everything they did to bring that together? I mean,
I was just going to say,
the environment, the whole venue was unbelievable. And you talk about good people getting together and doing good things. This whole event was a prime example of that.
Brad's like, I walked up one time to check on something, and he's like, how's the fish? And I'm like, it looks like a vacuum cleaner's on down there. Like they would set a tray, a big cake tray, and it would like hit the table and it'd be gone. And the unfortunate part is Brad, literally, I've never seen Brad tired or wore down. When it was all said and done, Brad was finally done cooking and cleaning up.
Yeah.
And he was done. Like he's like, we didn't get to see anything because we couldn't fry fish fast enough. We had 4 fryers going and they couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the most impressive. And everybody, like I said, nobody complained. Like, hey, like Ashley pulls in the morning with no boat on the trailer, and I'm like, she's like, Caesar's driving across. Like everybody just kind of did their thing and made it work, and it was so cool to see all them kids' excitement, bringing them up on the stage and talking to the families. And one lady stood up at the end of it, and she could barely talk. And a buddy of mine goes, I'm not that I don't have a heart, but I just don't really cry. Like I'm not that guy. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't care. I wear it on my shoulder. I wear my heart on my shoulder. I'm a softie. I'll cry. And she stood up in full tears.
Ugh.
And she couldn't hardly talk. And she just said, I want to thank everybody here for making my son feel like there's nothing wrong and he's a normal boy, even if it's just for one day.
We had the privilege of having dinner with both she and her son. and I had known her when she worked at one of the marinas in Pier. And yeah, it was such a powerful day for them, and it was a privilege to to share a meal with them as well. But Kurt, I got a hats off to you a little bit for you to put the captains or the boat captains in charge of what to do. And I was part of the text thread there where everybody's lobbying for their favorite spot to go fishing and whatever. And I gotta hand it to you to just saying, guys, we're going to narrow the choices a little bit, but there is choices, and you gave it to all of us. And man, what a privilege to have a network of guys to call on when you need to pull something like that off. And I want to tip my hat to you for coordinating such an awesome network of people, and then for that whole group to come together and persevere through and overcome everything that needed to be overcome to create a great day. There was a lot of work that went into this from a lot of people. And I think, my last comment of the night is going to be, I just want to thank Cora and her family for giving me the experience they gave me yesterday, because I've not had very many experiences that impactful. And I really want to express gratitude to that family of four for the day that we shared together.
You need to think about that family of four. So
there's one thing about him locking up. It kept me from needing a tissue. I can tell you that right now.
Very better, because obviously I'm bouncing everywhere.
I wondered if he wasn't going to go away, just for the simple fact that I was going to start doing my pretend lockup, but I was just about ready to say, could somebody hand me a tissue? Because honestly, the stories are getting to me a little bit, but that's what they're supposed to do, right?
You're back.
All right. I don't know. I started talking, my whole computer started spinning, and I'm inside hooked up, so I don't know what happened. But anyways, I couldn't get the touch points. But that family, they uprooted their whole life from Minnesota to move to Aberdeen, South Dakota for schooling for their daughter. They uprooted their entire life to do that.
So I don't have any audio from Kurt. So if I'm missing something, sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
You're not getting any audio from Kurt? Okay. I've got Ashley. Do you hear him?
Yep, I can hear him.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I got audio, so you guys can hear me.
Yeah, they did uproot their whole life to move her there to the better school for her situation. And, that's just, like Caesar was saying, a testament to their selflessness, and they've got, I'm going to give them a shout out because I can, but they've got their own Facebook page. It's called Adaptive Chaos, where they kind of put you through Cora's life. But one of the really cool things in getting to talk to that family and then looking at their Facebook page and just listening to them is they have not, there's so many people that would just spiral the wrong way, right? If this is what you were presented with in life, and think that their life is over. And this amazing couple has not skipped a beat. They are making sure they live their life hiking and going on trips and doing all of the things with Cora. And they are, her mom works at an equestrian facility part-time when she's, when Cora's in school and some of that, but they've adapted a saddle so she can ride with her. She used to ride on the horse with Claire, her mom, and now they've adapted their own saddle so that they can side-by-side ride with her. And they formulated their own backpacks and bike things. And they brought their own rifle that they had adapted for her for the prairie dog hunt today. And, they've really just, the selflessness, like Caesar said, to keep their life going, but make sure their daughter experiences it as though she doesn't have a disability. And that's, and that's a true testament to all of these families, because so many of them, their parents are out there documenting every day and taking, we had people from Florida and all over the place come up to this event. And to piggyback on Caesar, kudos to Kurt and the Battle Brothers team, because they pulled it off in less than 90 days.
Yeah, right. Right.
That's amazing.
That's a big deal. That's not easy to do, especially when you look at what Kurt had to do pulling together that team of guides, right? I mean, that's a big feat. I mean, hats off to you there, Kurt, because that is a big deal, pal.
Everybody says it's my connections, and yeah, maybe I'm the ringleader, but it's every one of these individuals that literally, even the guys that were a little skeptic, but most of them were literally like, I'm doing this. Like Caesar, Justin, I talked to him a little bit. Ryan kind of pushed him into doing it. He's busy with work. And then he tells Caesar he's doing it. Next thing I'm getting a call from Caesar. And I'm like, what? I didn't want to tell anybody no. So technically we had 22 kids that were signed up. And they didn't show up. Or maybe it's 23 and 2 didn't show up or something like that. And Caesar called and he's like, if you got room, I will do this. And I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, okay, what if then that one group didn't show up? And I'm like, what if more don't show up? And I just made people take time out of plan their day out to be here. But I think every one of you guys would looked at me and said, fine, where do you need a camera? Where do you need this? Where do you need that? It's a big one.
Instead, it worked out perfectly, right?
Yeah, it worked out like it was nothing. Like everything was meant to be. Hang on one second. I gotta my computer's now dying because we didn't do anything yesterday or last couple of days. Love live shows. That's why we do them. But that thought crossed my mind is like, what if now I have 21 guides here, and what if 2 people don't show up? And then who do the hardest thing in my mind was, who do I tell that doesn't get to go? Because after they've started meeting people, and I'm like, also now I'm gonna tell you don't get to go. And that was like Cora wasn't there, and I'm like, I'm like, where's Cora? Like, where's this Cora girl? And I went up to Justin, he's like, oh, they're on their way. They're about 10 minutes off. I'm like, oh, thank God. But like I said, I believe in God. I do them things, but this was definitely God's work. I'm not the guy that's going to beat that horse down, but this was definitely God's work, from the pairings to everything coming together, to the group of guides, to Brad and Jerry at High Point, Ryan Thompson and Laura Anderson, the Battle Branch boys. And I mean, we got tables donated from here, and we got this, and everything is chaos when you put one of these events on, especially when you put it on in 90 days, especially for a group of people, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
It's like last night we were cleaning up everything at the lodge. You guys have probably left. Storm rolls in, and it's gnarly. The sky went instantly, like somebody flipped the light switch off, and it was pitch black. And I'm like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, we've got a bunch of people that don't move well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, hey guys, a tornado's coming, run for the basement. And it just was heavy rain and it was fine. But I'm like, these are the things we're not thinking about. We don't think about those every day, right? We're out Pike Cave and tornado sirens go off. Everybody knows where to cut and run to, right? Now we got Cora and her family that she's already in bed, and we got to try to get her out into a wheelchair, into safe shelter. Like, this is stuff you can't plan for, but I knew if it would have happened, it would have been perfect, because nobody would have, like, everybody would just, like, it was lockstep.
Yep.
And the amount of text messages and phone calls and Facebook messages, and I'm still not through. I tried to call every single guy today and thank them from the bottom of my heart for doing this. And it's just, there was nothing more than emotional, personal gain off of this event. This was 100% thrown together by sponsors on a shoestring budget. They called me and asked me how much to do it. I told them my normal rate, and I said, there's no way I'm charging you. We're just going to do it. And That's what we did. And I'm glad it went that way, because the millions of dollars that feeling is worth to me, no dollar could have put it there.
Yep.
And so, I mean, Caesar, like I said, you literally were there. If somebody would have needed a tire change, you would have change a tire in the middle of Miniconjou boat ramp. Like, it was just, everybody would have done that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can't hear me.
Caesar?
What's that?
Could you hear Kurt?
I couldn't hear any of Kurt. I'm sorry if I missed something. I'll have to catch it on the replay.
He said you were there. Everybody would have done anything to keep everybody going. Had a tire blown out on the middle of Miniconjou boat ramp, you'd have been there changing it to make sure that nothing went wrong.
I would have done my best. I promise that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was an amazing event. I appreciate it. I'm going to pop Caesar out of the studio and bring him back in, see if that fixes the audio issue. So let him know that.
He's going to pop you out and back in to see if he can fix the audio quick.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Can you hear him now?
Must not have. Well,
I do not have Kurt. I'm sorry.
We can let you guys go. We appreciate that. I mean, it was, like I said, we appreciate everything you guys did. Everybody that was there, a part of this event. We'll pop you guys off. You got any more pictures? I know I hit Jason with a lot of pictures right at the very end of this, because it was like, we were talking on the phone, and I'm like, oh, it's when I knew the whole time it was Wednesday, but I'm like, we got a podcast.
So we pulled it together. Let me run through all the pictures one more time, and
we'll get a little synopsis from Ashley.
So this is the whole family. This is actually Cora's little brother, Corbin. This is a picture of when he caught his very first ever walleye. So the entire family fished. Cora did most of the fishing, but everyone else got to fish a little bit too. So this is Corbin catching his first fish, his first walleye ever.
That's fantastic. Next one.
And then that was the first fish we caught of the day. We weren't on the water even 10 minutes, and Cora caught a walleye, and her dad helped her reel it in.
Did she have a power reel?
So we pulled cranks for quite a bit of the day, but they did bring a power wheel. So the second half of the day, we bottom bounced, and she did get to reel some fish in with her power reel. It was really a neat, hers was just a button. So it was a battery operated power reel that just had one push button, like a big round button. And when her dad told her to reel the fish in, she pushed the button and away it went.
I'll be darned.
And we watched a video, like Battle Branch Boys shared a video of Ronan doing that. And I'm like, okay, do they set that button up? And like, obviously got to put it where she can reach it, but did they put the hand? And from the video, I'm like, it doesn't look like, it looks like Ronan just knows the fish is on. And so that's exactly what happened in this situation.
Yeah, we made sure that the hook was set for her, and then handed them the rod, and they got situated. Her dad was holding her, got situated in her lap, and put the button where her, because she kind of backhands things when she touches them, and so put the button where her hand could reach it, and she just plopped it down, and away her reel went.
That's
so
amazing.
That tells you, like I said, nonverbal, but she knew what to do and what was going on in that experience.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and she could communicate with you without communicating with you. There were grunts or hand, one of the sweetest things throughout the day is her dad was holding her, and she was messing with him. So his hood on the jerseys that you gave us was flapping in the wind, and she'd take her pointer finger and like flick it, and he'd say, "Hey, you're getting my shirt." And she'd just smile. And when she knew she was catching her fish, she'd get big smiles. And
her smile was unbelievable. And then when her joy overflowed, then her arms would go like this and match that big smile. And it's like an extension of her smile when her arms went like that. It was quite the experience to be around her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now I got the Battle Branch Boys calling me, so
we answering the phone all night. I just want to pop up a couple more here. Just if we let you guys go, throw this up there. The smiles. It's fun to see.
So that gentleman, that last chair, he only's got one use of the one hand. And so he's got a reel that he pushes against his cheek, and the pressure that he uses against his cheek reels the fish in.
Wow.
Well, they got in the water, and we go to get on the water, and they're coming off. Well, there was an issue with the reel. It broke. His grandpa tried to fix it, put it together wrong. They went up to the van and got duct tape and zip ties because it was reeling backwards, and they made it reel the right way. It was duct tape and zip ties. Just like I said, nothing was an issue. They fixed everything immediately. You know, everything was something we can overcome. And
a true testament to the adaptability of the whole crew.
The one thing that got me is, Cora's friend Ronan's dad, Justin, brought a wheelchair truck down. He brought a truck with a lift that would lift 16 feet in the air and set them in stuff. We only happen to have to use it for one kid because I let a guy use my boat and my pontoon door is narrow. And he said it was a little scary, but they got him in there, right? They put him in the chair and they got him in my pontoon because his chair couldn't roll through my door. And they got him in the boat, and the mom come to me at the end of the day, and she's like, you guys literally went out of your way every second you could to make these people feel welcome and at home and like nothing was going on. She said, you wouldn't believe when we go out to the stores that people don't hold doors for us. That the waitress will ask you, do you want a booth? Does a booth work? And she's like, I'm pushing my son in a wheelchair and you're asking if a booth works. Like, she's like, the amount of ignorance that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And she's like, there was none of that here. You guys thought of every scenario. And to be honest with them, most of it was on the fly. Like, okay, what can that chair do, or what can that person do? We're going to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
So again, I know Caesar can't hear me, but thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for jumping on tonight and the last couple days. We appreciate everything. We'll let you guys go. And if anybody wants to see more, what's Cora's Facebook page?
Adaptive Chaos.
Adaptive Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
We'll share some from that. And then we appreciate you guys. And there's tons more on the Fishing Crew and on the Battle Branch sites. And I'm pretty sure the people I don't even know the amount of pictures in the life of Rhett, all these different pages. If you go check them out on social media, you'll scroll. I found myself coming home dog tired, laying in bed, just scrolling through the next video.
Yep.
To see what was coming up next. So tell Caesar I said.
I will tell him you said thank you. And thank you, Kurt, for having us. And we're looking forward to hopefully making this a yearly thing.
I told everybody I think we opened Pandora's box that we can't put away. Yeah, and this is going to be a thing we don't even know. You know, so you guys know the one crazy thing is 90 days ago when we started this, Logan's like, and I've got this mentality too, let's just get it bigger and better. Let's just keep going, going. The only thing that throttled us on how many people we could have stay was the High Point has 15 beds.
Sure.
And I'm like, there's no way we're making people, and there's 15 rooms with 30 beds. I'm like, I'm not making people, a family gets a room. That's what they get.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, we can invite some local people that don't have to stay. And I'm like, but I really want them to be able to stay, but it all worked out. And I'm blessed that, like I said, everything was happening for a reason, that 15 people could stay at the lodge. That kind of throttled our group of people. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, next year, who knows? We could have people staying everywhere coming to the party. And that was the big thing. They wanted everybody there for a big cheering excitement. And we put it on social media. We sent news releases out. We told everybody come up there. Few people showed up, but it felt like thousands of people were in the crowd because every time somebody walked on stage, everybody there cheered like it was the end of the world.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Everybody was so supportive, and it was really wonderful. And, you know, we got a lot of feedback too, you know, like our Pike Haven group watched it on the Fishing Crew live. And so I think the people that watched it live definitely have more interest in coming and seeing the actual event. I don't know how many messages we got that said, I was in tears watching the live show. And so it was impactful to those that didn't even participate too, which is wonderful.
Great.
Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll let you guys go. Appreciate you taking time out of your night to join us.
Thank
Caesar,
you.
Ashley, thank you much. Appreciate it. Take care. Thank you.
Have a great evening, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, like I said, we could go for 4 days telling stories with all these people. And, you know, I couldn't figure out two better people just because, like I said, there was no way they weren't letting the whole family be in that boat. And there were parents drawing straws at who got to go fishing, you know.
That's pretty cool. You know, I mean,
so,
there's just a ton there's so much to learn. I was a part of the Children's Miracle Network radiothons for quite a few years, and I learned a lot from that particular group of people. And there's always something to learn because we really do take life for granted. Sometimes we might not think we don't. No, you know, but we do, whether we know it or not. And it's a little bit of a wake-up call and a dose of reality to see other people. It was Jeremy Olson that said to me, I was talking about my son and you know, whether he had autism or not. And he said, don't raise him the way you were raised. Raise him how God intended him to be raised. And I think these families, the way you guys were talking tonight, I think they have either had someone tell them that, maybe God told them that specifically, maybe they learned it, but they have learned that they've been given this child and he or she needs to be raised as God or I intended them to be raised if it came from God. And that changes the entire life, the entire way you look at things instead of being selfish, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't have the technical ability you do because I usually get a text message. Unfortunately, no good deed goes unpunished because here's the Battle Branch boys.
Oh, no.
So as soon as I get off of here, I'll be calling Logan back and figuring out what's going on to figure out what we got to do to get him somewhere safe.
Right.
And
so it looks like maybe Chuck, I'm guessing looks like a radiator problem or overheating or something. It's a cooler day, thank goodness.
Yeah, not sure, but you know, Brad Donald at High Point said this, and he's like, these kids are so awesome. Mm-hmm. And I got to give it tribute to the families that raise these awesome kids, because without awesome families, it wouldn't have been awesome kids. There wasn't, you know, there wasn't one outburst. There wasn't one, you know, mad kid. There wasn't one nothing. And all the sponsors that got behind it, the fishing rods, Dakota Angler threw in a Rapala fishing package. I mean, the food, Laura at Pure Bliss made all the sandwiches. R&S Honey Company brought all the pork butts for the pork and the beans. And Dan Learman had 100 pounds of pork donated for sausage. Cowboy Country Stores brought breakfast pizza. The Hilltop brought breakfast burritos. Shell's Quick Stop, I called Chase, asked me to do bait. And he's like, tell me when and where. I called him Monday night and said, hey, we need crawlers. Nobody wants minnows, just crawlers. I could pick them up in the morning, or we're about to do dinner up here at High Point. If you could, he's like, I'm at baseball. I'll drive up there right now.
Really?
I did say pork butts.
He said pork butts. Yes, candy bar. He said.
You know, Eric says, I watched the live on Facebook, and wow, how cool. Way to go, Kurt and crew. You definitely made a lot of people's day that they'll never forget. It wasn't me, guys. I was the least of it, right? I mean, I don't want credit for any of it. I want to give credit to the High Point Lodge. I want to give credit to High Point Lodge. I want to give credit to Pure Bliss, Ryan Thompson, the Battle Branch. I mean, everybody that just moved, it stopped the whole world for not just 2 days, but leading up to it.
Amazing. Yeah. Truly amazing.
You know, I told my work I wasn't going to be there because I had this event going on. I told my boss, I'm out tomorrow. I got this event going on. And I can't tell all my customers. That was the first day I never took a single customer call, or I didn't have 200 emails to come back to. You know, most of my emails I got up this morning, got to work, were junk emails like this. You know, I'm like, how has that happened? That never happens, and it did.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. You know, like I said earlier, when we were talking, it's divine, man. I mean, it when it feels perfect, it is perfect for a reason, right?
And in talking to my pros, you know, calling them today to thank them, one guy literally said to me, he goes, "You don't know how much I needed the last 2 days." What? And I'm like, huh? And he's like, I needed that more than you would ever know in life right now.
Wow.
You know, how cool is that statement?
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, and there again, God works in mysterious ways, right? It's amazing how he puts people in your path and puts you in their path and just makes it happen when it's right and meant to be.
Yeah. So I probably better get off since Logan called me again, but
all right.
Tournament's upcoming, guys. Don't forget Denny Palmer this weekend. We're coming to Chase and Walter country.
Ooh, up in Mobridge.
We're coming to Chase and Walter country. He's going to show me all the good spots. I found out today, guys, that I don't know if you guys know this, but he's now a golfer. He's thinking about jumping on the senior PGA Tour at some point.
Oh, thanks. Had to add the senior, didn't you? Yeah, appreciate that. I'm still trying to get over the fact that everywhere I go, I can have a senior coffee or a senior citizen discount, because I certainly don't feel 60, but I guess I am. So
yeah, we're gonna check out all his hot spots and what we got, the $1.50 store and
the family $1.50. Yeah, and then there's the $1.25 general. So
no, we'll be in Mobridge this weekend. Still time to get in the Denny Palmer. You can find the link to their website on my page, and then the Home Builders Association tournament. You want to do something like this 4-person tournament at the end of the month. You know, these people got a day to fish with their kids. Bring your kids out here and come fish it. 4 people. So yeah, I get signed up for them, make that a family event. I mean, there's so many things you can do. We just got a huge one here. Go ahead and read that one.
Oh boy, I've been watching the event through all Facebook posts, and it was awesome to see what you and all the others that came together for this event. Those smiles were great to see from all the participants. Great job, guys. Yeah, great job, Tara. Thank you. Great job, Kurt, and everyone. You know, wish I would have been there. I don't know. My mind was busy on other things and a kid. So
yeah, that happens.
It does. It really does. But amazing though. Gene, glad to see you here tonight. Of course, we'll see you tomorrow on the radio.
Yeah, and he said we'll be up there this weekend. I think I got to meet Gene when I was up there for the NWT.
Yeah,
so
you did. I believe you did.
Yeah, I think you introduced me to Gene, so it'll be fun. So I better get off. Figure out what I got going on with the Battle Branch boys, and we appreciate everybody that helped this weekend, and get signed up for those events. Still time to get in them, so look forward to seeing everybody the upcoming events.
All right, great night tonight. Thank you.
Thanks,
take care.
Buddy.
Oh yeah, man.